now, through the miracles of modern technology, zany worldwide banner featuring Tom, Michelle, and Jim in an on-topic, off-topic free-for-all. Welcome to the Gun Talk After Show.
It's the after show where almost anything goes. We have our, at least for today, co-host Jane Anne Shimizu from Gunsight is here, and Jim and Michelle have joined us. Hello, guys.
Hello.
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 So, during the show, Jane Ann's talking about revolvers, and over here we're talking about the .327 Federal, and Michelle, you are like jumping up and down.
The .327, you say?
Have you heard of it?
Yeah, right. Never heard of it, huh?
No.
The saleswoman of the year form.
All right, tell Jane Anne what you do with that when women come in and you want to get them started.
Well, of course, I loan them my pistol, and I take them out to our indoor pistol range and let them shoot some .32. I use Smith & Wesson longs because they're the nicest for cleanup afterwards. But, they go out there and shoot a couple of shots and find out that there's really not much recoil with that .32 long. And they fall in love. I don't have to do anything after that. Just a couple of shots will do it.
It's a gun that doesn't hurt you. What a nice idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, as much as we love the snubby, full house loads and a snubby are just not fun.
No, they're not.
I always tell people if I'm going to have to shoot someone with this gun, I'm going to beat the crap out of it when I'm done because I'm just going to beat them over the head. It hurts.
It hurts too much to shoot. All right, you made me shoot this gun that hurt me so much. I'm mad at you.
It took me a while to warm up to the air weights in the .38 specials. That backstrap comes across that palm. You know you did it.
Hello.
You know you shot the gun.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there it is. It's why I really, for self-defense, I prefer the air guns. I find them to be a lot more controllable.
Less lethal? Like really less lethal?
Not very loud?
Well, it's somewhere, right below the less lethal is the somewhat annoying category. So,
all right, I'm not going to bug you. You're driving me nuts. I'm out of here.
That's right. They'll just leave you alone, Go away, would you? What have you guys been shooting? Jim, you had an event of some sort with musicians?
Yeah, a buddy of mine is a local instructor, and he said, hey, you're always talking to all your musician buddies and stuff. Why don't you pull together a little group and see if we can get 6 or 7 guys out there and gals? And I said, okay. How many can your classroom hold? He said, 20. I said, we'll sell out. Yeah, right, musicians, you're all flaky. I said, well, I've got a way around that. So I had him pay in full 2 weeks in advance, and it weeded out all the good intentions, but people that don't follow through. And sure enough, we had 22 people there.
Whoa.
And it was very cool. We had the classroom indoor and then went outside and froze our little butts off outdoors.
What, it's cold?
That's true. It's cold.
Not all of us have an indoor pistol range, Michelle.
Yeah, these guys are up in northern Ohio, practically Michigan.
Ooh, cold.
I guess it's like I just got a note from a guy who's doing an IDPA class up there, or a shoot. He said it was like 25 degrees and snow.
Yeah.
For a few days.
Yep, and it warmed up to about mid-30s yesterday. The highlight of the day, though, is we had 2 women in their 70s shoot. First time they've ever touched a gun. And we had 8 or 9 women in the class of the 20. I think it was 9 out of 22 were women. So that third ratio is pretty darn close.
This whole thing's just going to hell in a handbasket. There's just all these women taking over. That's
we got to find more guy stuff to do then.
You should take up knitting.
There you go. We'll get back at him.
It's not loud enough. We'd like things that are loud.
Yeah, I'm into full contact crochet. Okay.
Kevlar crochet.
Ooh.
There you go.
There you go.
Now we're talking tactical crochet.
Well,
leave it to Jane Anne.
I saved my husband's guitar strings, and I'm definitely going to do something on the loom with a bunch of guitar strings. I haven't figured out quite how I'm going to do it yet.
Nylon strings?
Yeah. Well, he has all kinds of strings. He's got so many guitars. But I get all of his guitar strings because I am going to weave something one day with him.
How cool
now, I can't imagine, Jim, I know you would never understand how somebody could own more than one guitar.
No, that's what my wife thinks I own.
You only show one at a time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I must have traded that one, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
When Bob goes out of town, I have to water the guitars.
What?
Because they have to have a humidifier going at all times in their room.
Oh, in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I water the guitars.
For those who don't know, Jane Anne's husband, Bob Shimizu, is a world-class jazz guitarist. Serious, no kidding.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you've seen some of his stuff, Jim, and you're a heck of a guitar player. But man,
I'm not. I spoke to him earlier today, and I told him I may have just retired after watching a couple of his videos. I mean, just put it in the case for good. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, people go on YouTube, look for Bob Shimizu. It's Shimizu, and look at his videos. You go, oh, okay. Yep. He's also a sneaky ninja tactical dude too. He's been known that they use him on some of their scenarios at Gunsight, and
cool.
He's
been playing my victim lately. He's a great victim. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said he's really great at moaning and
whining.
You know,
in the active shooter classes, we actually bring people in to be victims, and one will have a gunshot wound to the chest, and another one will have a broken leg, and we want the people shooting the simulator. What would you do? You know, if you went into this school and we simulate a school and there's a guy over there moaning, who are you going to take care of first? How are you going to deal with this? Bob plays the moaner at the end of the hall. I really thought he was hurt that one time when I got there late.
Really?
Like, oh my God, he's hurt.
Good acting.
Yes.
So there you go. It's, another musician who is a gun person. So there it is.
There's a lot of musicians and computer people that are gun people.
That's true, because he's actually a professional computer person. Mm-hmm. What is that connection? Of course, maybe that musicians just hang out with bad people and they feel like I probably need to do this. I'm not talking about anybody in particular, Jim.
I know. We just want to make sure we get paid at the end of the gig.
Yes, that's so true.
Off air, we'll have to tell you, I now have learned the only tuba joke. I never knew there was a tuba joke.
Yeah?
So there you go. Yeah, we'll go through that. Exactly. Who knew? It's tactical tubas.
Oh, there you go.
It's a new gunfighting school.
Well, there isn't one tuba joke we can tell on the air.
Okay.
The difference between a dead tubaist on the side of the road and a dead squirrel. The dead squirrel was on his way to a pay gig.
Musician humor.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, Michelle, you're responsible.
Oh.
You do the...
Ow!
Smack!
Damn you.
Good.
They're in the same room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just reach over and hit him. Michelle has
I've got
one
very good
overarching... That's right. She has one big responsibility here, and that's to just occasionally and randomly to reach over and just smack Jim for us.
Yeah, Jim, why do you wear a crash helmet when you're doing the audio? Well...
and we appreciate it, Michelle. Don't think it's not appreciated, okay?
Thankless.
So what are you seeing at the store these days? What's going on? What are people talking about?
Oh, a little bit of everything. Of course, people running scared, trying to take advantage of the abilities we have to purchase a firearm before everybody thinks that's taken away from us. And
ammo. There's ammo available these days, which is nice.
Just a little bit of everything across the board. Lots of training, lots and lots of training, of course, with our wintertime that always increases. So it's taking advantage of, the range facility, and we've upped our class time that's available. And we're seeing lots of repeat people come through. And it's nice that people are keeping up on the training and taking serious, the commitment that they've taken forth with the concealed carry.
That's kind of a second level. I mean, the first level is for people who get the awareness to take some kind of training in the first place, right?
Correct.
All right. But then if they say, but I know I need to come back and get more training, are you seeing the same thing, Jane Anne?
Well, yes. We see a lot of people take the 250 class every year.
Really? Every year?
Every year. They come and they take that 250 class. Many of them bring friends. So they want to take it with their friends. And we tell them at the end of the week, you need to keep training. There's got to be a range you can go to in your hometown. There's got to be a place.
Start going downhill. The very next day, you're not as good as you were.
Well,
and the next day after that, you're not as good as you were.
It's just like playing a piano. Let's go back to music.
Yeah.
If you don't practice, you're going to lose it.
And that's, it's why I just don't do recurrent training with piano at all. having never played the piano, I don't understand.
Michelle, what's
We
the name
thank
of
you
your
for that.
facility?
The name of our facility is Cleland's Outdoor World. We're in.
Clelands.
Yep.
Cleland's Outdoor World.
Outdoor
How many shooting ranges or lanes do you have there?
We have 7 bays to our indoor facility.
Okay. They got rental guns and a gun store.
They have
and
the wheel of.
instructors.
They have a wheel of guns.
We have a
Tell them
wheel.
that story. That's
Yeah,
cute.
we
Wheel of guns.
Exactly what it is.
It is, yes. My husband has, when we unfortunately had a fire a few years ago and rebuilt the store, rebuilt it with a lot of our own personal traits put in there, I guess, and things that we enjoy, which is going back to the antiquity of things. And yes, our range gun is based off of a very large wagon wheel. That's spin it around.
It's got like, what, 20-some guns on it?
Well, there's 32.
32. See that?
32
Wow.
firearms.
So you spin the wheel, you pull the gun off you want.
Well, no.
Kinda.
You want the SIG, 226. Oh, that's number 26. And we just pull the wheel around to 26 and unlock the gun from there. And
That's very cool.
It is cool.
yeah.
Creative. I like it.
You have an archery range. That's interesting.
Yes, we do.
And more importantly, they have 22 long rifle in stock.
This is true, too.
Really? That's hard to
Well,
find.
We'll be coming up to Ohio tomorrow.
I was going to say, at least until tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, we do indoor archery range. We do a lot of instruction. I mean, that's really the basis. Our family from the onset has been involved in competitions, and so we've done everything: high power, black powder, archery, lots of placements and lots of different events. So it's awesome. We build off of what we know and what we do.
And now, do you do instruction yourself, Michelle?
I do some. I do a lot of the basic instruction or, personal lessons, that type of a thing, just because I'm more limited in my time with my duties than others are. But my husband's the primary CCW instructor. Well, he is the CCW instructor. But, we offer lots of classes, and we put different people in different positions according to... Jim's over here modeling, but we put people into different positions
I'm so glad
and
we
delegate.
can't see that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Just close your eyes and keep talking. He's not there.
We
No,
like
no,
to.
no, I can't see you.
He's still there.
Damn.
But we delegate out and, allow instruction to happen for those that are interested and try to get, them out into the sport too, because you learn a lot more about what to teach and how to teach if you actually take part in the sport. It's just like becoming a hunter. It's easier to teach how to be a hunter if you've been a hunter yourself.
If you're a hunter.
Yes.
Makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. And you can't teach this stuff unless you do it.
Right.
You just can't.
Right, and we'll be coming
and
up on...
unfortunately, we see concealed carry instructors. I've seen enough of them that don't do it, don't know what they're talking about, and yet they're in there teaching it. And they think they're doing a great job, and the students think they're getting great instruction because they don't know any better. You just don't.
And they're loading their clip. I have seen that. I've seen a guy who said he was a CCW instructor, NRA instructor, and he was calling a magazine a clip.
Okay, but from now on, we have the official Gun Talk name for these ammunition holders. It's not a clip. It's not a magazine. It's a clipazine.
A clipazine, that's right.
We're going for clipazine now. Yes, it is scientific. That's exactly correct. So there you go. So Jane Anne doesn't know about our scientific thing.
It's probably best for
her. I have
her.
to do this. This is true. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can get something. There we go. Because the fellow who does these is a mutual friend, and I don't think Jane Anne has heard this, I think we should play a little Milo Lard Bottom.
There you go.
You ready for it? Here we go.
This is Milo Lardbottom, Junior Under Assistant Deputy to the Assistant Director of Deputy Affairs for the Department of Homeland Security, with a special message for listeners of Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. We know who you are. We know where you are. You're right by your radio. We have special cameras that can see into your radio. I have a special monitor built into my aluminum foil helmet. We are watching you. So don't try anything funny, Buster.
Buster. Funny.
Oh, if only it weren't true.
There's no lists.
Yeah. I heard from somebody this week, it was very interesting. He was talking, the whole deal where people say, I don't want to be on a list. We've talked about it before. And he was saying, actually, there are lists that you should be proud of being on. And being a gun owner and being an RA member and, being a person who stands up for liberty, that's a list you ought to be proud of, to be on. I thought, that's actually a great attitude. I like that.
Be proud to be a patriot.
Don't apologize. Don't apologize. And don't let anybody try to shame you into it, because they'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
But Jane Anne actually knows people. She actually has friends that are not in the gun industry, unlike some of us who actually don't have that many friends.
Period.
Period. Exactly right. And if they don't know you and don't know what you do, people will try to shame you, won't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. But you just have to stick to your guns and tell them, I'm sorry, I'm an extreme conservative. I hate to scare you.
What was your neighbors? What was the deal there?
We moved into a brand new house, and the neighbors came up to meet us, and they were climbing up this rock, and we're sitting up there looking out, and they said, we're so happy to see you moved in, and we do so hope you're not Republicans.
First thing out of their mouth.
First thing out of their mouth. And I looked at her and I said, I hate to tell you this, but we're extremists. We're extreme conservatives. And they were just appalled that someone would move in next to them. Mortified, yeah.
Well, they thought it was a good neighborhood, you see.
And then about 2 or 3 years later, they asked us if Al-Qaeda came up the hill here, you'd protect us, right? No. Sorry.
It's your job to take care of you.
Yeah. We're going to put a sign in your front yard that says, no firearms here.
Imagine, though, the arrogance, the attitude of, well, you obviously live in a good neighborhood and you probably are, fairly intelligent people, so we can just assume that you wouldn't be a Republican.
God.
I actually had a friend years ago, and she's very liberal neighbor, and she says, I just don't understand it, Tom. We really like you, and you're pretty smart, but you're so conservative. I don't understand this. It's like totally mutually exclusive,
Yeah.
And that's that attitude of if you can't be conservative and be smart at the same time, at least in their viewpoint.
Well, we're gun-toting.
We are backward.
Yeah,
it's true. We're
backwoods deliverance kind of people.
Knuckle draggers,
yes.
What can I say?
Tom, why don't we take a commercial and then you can repeat what you just said slower so we can understand, because we're not that bright here.
All right, time for a break, and then we'll come back and talk more slowly so Jim can understand.
Thanks.
Oh, wow.
You like free stuff, right? You like good deals, and you want more guns, ammo, and accessories. So get all of that with the free smartphone app, Gun Dealio. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you'll get special offers and deals when you walk into a gun store. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Who wouldn't want that? Gun Dealio at the App Store and Google Play. GunDealio.com. All right, we're back with you. It is the after show. We're visiting with Jane Anne Shimizu from Gunsight. Michelle is here and Jim is here, and we're having more fun than we really ought to be allowed to have. So there you go. You know what, Jim? This is great because now we're 2 and 2. We have 2 ladies and 2 not gentlemen but guys.
Yes. I like it.
But we actually think about this. We have 2 ladies here who teach firearms and work in the firearms industry. This is cool, guys. Jane, I'm so glad you're here. And you and Michelle are here. This is super.
Tom, we should just pack it up.
He was rather cantankerous, and when we first started the ladies' classes, he said to me, "How do you know they're ladies?"
What?
That's right. Yeah, we know you're women, but we don't know yet that you're ladies.
Because he's of the old school.
That's right. We know that you're a man, but we don't know that you're a gentleman yet.
Uh-huh.
Exactly right. What was it? Somebody said, a woman said, was holding the door open. She says, you don't have to hold the door open just because I'm a woman. It says, Oh, well, it's not because you're a woman, it's because I'm a gentleman.
There you go.
Oh, well, what are you going to do? You have fun with it. So there you go. Michelle, what kind of misconceptions do you ever get when you meet people and they find out what you do? You run into any issues?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they question the integrity of me being a mother and how good of a mother I am. I think that's probably the biggest thing, which is a huge insult, of course, for any mom who really does care about their children. And, our kids were raised in a family and from very young ages learned how to shoot the firearms appropriately with safety measures in place. And we never denied when they asked if they wanted to go out and shoot. We always went out and did it at their speed. And they learned a discipline, and we've talked about that so many times, and responsibility that is bar none to anything else they could have ever done. And consequently, both of my kids have very moral backgrounds with them and the jobs that they are now in and what they're doing, and have had a great shooting career off of it.
It just goes to what you were talking about off the show. Tell them about the youth classes that you do and what you see in those kids.
Well, we see different children on Friday than walked into the classroom on Monday.
What are the ages?
They 12 to 16. And the youth classes are the exact 250 pistol class that the parents are taking on another range. We have 17 to 20 youth taking the same class on a different range. And then they get together with their parents at night. And as the week progresses, the parents are in awe of the child they're getting back. They're more responsible. They're more polite. They respect authority. They are just different kids. And I think it's a wonderful thing to teach your children young. And I mean, we gave my 5-year-old his first .22 last summer, and he is now teaching
your
kids.
5-year-old
grandson. He is now teaching kids in his neighborhood the 4 safe gun rules.
Really?
And he's got the gun on his little archery background because he does archery also. But he's got a little pellet gun. He wanted a 1911 little airsoft for his birthday, and of course I got him one.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't deny that.
But he's got his safety glasses on, and he's teaching the little kids in the neighborhood the 4 safe gun rules.
Well,
teach your children young.
And I think at a time when the schools are constantly preaching about the fact that they can't focus. Your child just isn't paying attention. That individual sport gives them such a different advantage and something to mentally and obviously physically focus on and with, that it can change a lot of that behavior.
And you know what I noticed when I always run around the ranges and take pictures. I take pictures of every class and try to post them up on the website. But I would go to the adult class and they would be exactly at this time of day. This is what we do. We're doing kneeling or we're doing prone. And then I go to the kids class and they are down in that kneeling position. They are jumping into prone. And they are sponges. They learn it so quickly. And I have to laugh because the adults are struggling and the kids got it. They've just got it.
Now, at Gunsight, for those who don't know, everybody is carrying a gun, openly loaded guns all the time. Do the kids do the same thing?
Yes.
So these kids are carrying loaded guns in their holsters all day long, even at lunch, no matter where they go.
And we give them the option at the end of the day.
They're trusted. That's the main thing. They are given the responsibility, and they're trusted, and they respond to it.
Yes. And we treat them like adults.
Mm-hmm.
We don't treat them like kids. Well, a little bit we treat them like kids. Like the instructor will give them each a nickname at the beginning of the class. And he just does it to make a little lightness out of the class.
Sure.
And the 2 instructors that we have are excellent dads. So they're great instructors because they're good dads.
Well, Jim, you have had really a lot of success with your youngster. And, I'm thinking about your youngest, particularly.
Yeah, because we don't talk about the oldest. They're in Vegas at a full auto ranch right now.
What?
All right.
No, seriously, he sends me a note. Says, what are they doing? They really are, aren't they?
Yeah, they have a buddy getting married back here in Ohio, so they decided for their bachelor party they're going to take him out. He's not anti-gun. He's just never shot. And he's kind of a timid guy, a little quiet guy. So they decided to fly him out to Vegas and surprise him, and that's what they did.
Shoot the full auto shoot.
We do a lot of bachelor parties. They'll bring their bachelor party, their wedding. What do you call it? Your best man and the groomsmen out to Gunsight at private tutorial 3-day pistol. I can't mention any names, but there's a owner of a very big chain of pharmaceuticals. Brought his entire wedding party out.
How cool.
20 people, and they took a Gunsight class.
That's great.
Another thing they do there that we can't give names on, Jane Anne probably can't talk about it, but there are people who go to Gunsight who you would recognize from TV and film. Fair enough?
Yes.
Big stars.
Yes, big stars.
And they go there, some of them because they were told this is where you go to learn to operate a gun so you look like you know what you're doing. But some of them simply go because that's who they are, that's what they do, and they love this stuff.
Yeah. And, I can say the King of Jordan and his entire family trained at Gunsight. He sent his wife.
And they can go anywhere in the world, by the way.
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
And very wealthy Mexicans from Mexico, they own cattle ranches, and they send their children out.
We're talking billionaires.
Billionaires, because they are at risk for kidnapping.
Oh.
And I mean, we get all the kids, and then the dad comes. After the kids are trained, they drag the dad.
Okay.
But because they really are in fear of their life there. And if you're wealthy, you will get kidnapped. At one point in your life or another, you will get chased. And many times you're being chased by the Mexican police.
Well, federales. And the other thing, as we know, and they certainly understand, is that you can hire security, but somebody else can pay security more. And your security may not be on your side.
That's right.
It's up to you personally and your family and nobody else.
Well, there's, the Dozer drill. He was the general from South America,
right.
And he refused to carry a firearm. He had bodyguards, and he had soldiers outside of his room at night, and he didn't need to carry a firearm.
This is a drill they do at Gunsight.
And this is called the Dozer drill. Cooper created it. And one night, 5 plumbers knocked on his door, and they said, well, there's a leak downstairs. We have to come in and check your plumbing. He just opened the door because he figured his soldiers were out there, and there are 5 armed plumbers out there, and they kidnapped him and his wife. And the drill is, how fast can you sweep down 5 pepper poppers in 37 seconds, in a minute? And, sometimes it takes 8. Who knows? But it's called the Dozer drill, and that's where we got it from, because you really need to be armed, especially in South American countries.
Yep, real world stuff. A lot of the training, El Presidente.
Yes.
Same deal. You got your back to it. You got to turn and shoot 3 targets, draw and shoot 3 targets, reload, shoot 3 targets. 2 shots on each one with a reload and come back. And that came from a real life scenario, too.
Everything Cooper did had a background to it. Every drill that he created.
Yeah, so it's not like, gee, I wonder, this might happen sometime. No, we start off with, this has already happened. Let's learn from that.
It's kind of like your first-person defender stuff, Tom. You take real things that have happened.
Well, it is.
Reenact them. And
we took the one, Lynn Russell, the former CNN anchor, who had a push-in robbery, ended up being her husband, ended up killing the guy in the room. We created that, basically, a hotel room. People are so into condition white all the time. And by the way, the whole condition white, that's a Colonel Cooper thing too.
Yes.
He created the whole color code.
The color code, yes. Last year at the gas match, the Gunsight alumni shoot is called the gas match. The Glock pistol that they were doing the jihad draw the prophet Mohammed.
Oh, yeah.
And
this is from the real world scenario that happened. I think it was in Texas.
Yes, it was in Texas, and the law enforcement were outside of the Draw the Prophet Muhammad rally,
right.
And these bad dudes pulled up, and they got out of their car, and they had carbines.
That's right. They had rifles,
yeah.
And the cop had a pistol.
And the cop had a pistol, and the cop moved around the side of his car and shot them both with his Glock 21 or whatever it was. So Glock donated the pistol to the match, and we recreated that scenario, and every shooter in the match went through the scenario. And it was amazing how they didn't really know how to move. I mean, they were, when presented with the problem. So if you practice it and it happens, you will do it.
And I will tell you from personal experience, you get rusty. If you don't do this stuff, you just get rusty at it. you got to go back and train it up again.
Yep.
But that's part of the fun of it. I mean, Michelle, you see it all the time. People come in and they're not sure what they're going to get into, and they start shooting, and you get that big smile, right?
Right.
It's just kind of like, I had no idea.
In kind of a continuation with that, with all the training and everything that goes on, is you can stand and shoot constantly. You can do that, every week and make that commitment, and that's great for the marksmanship side of things. But unless you get into a scenario situation where adrenaline starts to kick in, or there's a magazine change, or you have to take cover, or maybe pick up a child, or it goes over and over and over through things mentally and then physically, because you have to have it straight in your head what you're going to do. But then you start adding in a spouse, or, 2 children, or you start adding all these things that happen in life. Yeah. It changes. Everything changes. And
I was thinking about you guys. You talk about it's cold there. Mm-hmm. And how many people who carry have practiced drawing from when they're wearing their heavy winter clothes?
Well, you put a glove on your hand.
And yeah, there you go, glove. Great point. And did you think about, when you got your winter coat, did you take into account, how can I carry with this winter coat? Did you make that a part of your gear?
Well, and I'm like Jane Anne. I have to change, mostly because being female and the way that we dress. But I change from winter to summer, or the activity that we're doing, how. And it's probably need to more so than you or Jim would have to, Tom. But
I never purse carry anymore, ever.
But it's one of those things
that's a man bag.
It's a man bag.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's one of those things that takes practice too. So you can't just strap a purse on and be like, okay, I'm good. Well, is the holster set up right? Can you pull it? Is it upside down in the purse?
Can somebody take the purse from you?
Right. So,
I wear mine around my neck. They would have to take me with them.
That's a great point. For a woman who has a purse, any purse anyway, but especially if you have a gun in it, you have to wear it across over the head and across.
Like a bandolier,
on the shoulder.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly like a bandolier. I've often wished I could wear a heavy winter coat because they have big pockets, and you could just slip your...
Especially a revolver.
Yeah. Well, Smith & Wesson shield. If I had a heavy winter coat, I could put the Smith & Wesson shield in there.
I'd be happy to...
What a revolver is, you could shoot through the pocket. You do not have to take the gun out of the pocket to shoot.
Although I got to tell you what, we did that. In our first pocket pistol
fire
class,
to everything, doesn't it?
Galco donated purses that we could shoot out of.
Okay.
And I got to tell you what, that hurts. The heat from the revolver comes back on your hand, and it's like, whoa! I mean, it hurts.
You wouldn't want to do it a lot, but if you had to do it, you'd do it.
If you had to do it, you could do it, but you would be saying some bad words when you were done.
But you want to be the
I had no idea.
You want to be the one that survives to be able to say those bad words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Problem number 2. First we deal with problem number 1, right? Yep. There it is.
And if you really need a heavy winter coat, Jane Anne, come next week. If it gets nicer here, I'll send you mine.
Sure.
I don't know where I'd wear it.
That's what she needs in Arizona.
Yeah, I would look really weird in it.
You look like the guy in summer who comes in wearing the duster, and you're going, that doesn't look right. There's something there. This guy's got the shotgun underneath the duster. Okay. Well, clearly we have to get Jane Anne and Michelle together at some point.
I would love
to. That'd be fun.
Thinking a gun site road trip.
Gun site road trip.
There you go.
I would love to do that.
With remote broadcast from the gun site road trip.
You've done those before. We have better CenturyLink now. It would work.
Okay, you have to tell. Jim's laughing because he was on the other end of this whole thing. Back when we had a different way of connecting, we were actually using phone lines and everything.
3 of them.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty.
We couldn't get the internet to work, and not good enough for Tom, and we ended up moving furniture and hooking up to the fax line.
During the commercial breaks, we're picking up the gear, running it from one building to another. another. And Buzz, the owner of Gunsight, is pulling file cabinets away from the walls, and he looks like a gopher or somebody running around behind all these file cabinets, plugging it in. I'm going, okay, in 30 seconds, we're back on the air. We got to find a plug. It was insane.
And we ended up in the middle of the room at a folding table doing the show. It was funny.
Yeah, and on our end, it was like, okay, welcome back to Gun Talk.
Talk about adrenaline, huh?
Yes, but we're better now.
We're better now. You actually have internet now.
Yes, we have internet now. It's all good.
Cool.
It's all good. It's
All
not
right.
dial-up.
It sounds
We
like a
can wait.
commitment.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll have to do something. All right. So, and then let's see, Jim, you're coming out to the. You're going to be at the NRA show this year.
I
or
am
no?
not. This
You're
is my
not.
first year to miss the NRA
Because
show.
she knows I'm going. She's
Well,
avoiding me.
yeah.
That's right.
Smart girl.
Yeah, I
going.
won't be there. I wish I was going to be there because I was born in Kentucky. I have relatives in Louisville.
Well, I guess, Jim, we could at least start kind of teasing it. We're doing a musical appearance at the NRA show. And it's going to be a band made up of people from the firearms industry. And you're going to be there, and Ryan's going to be there because you guys actually play gigs, and going to have like 2 or 3 others, and we have a venue figured out, which we'll announce later. It's going to be like a donation deal fundraiser for, I think it's for NRA ILA is where we're going with this.
Special guest.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
Special guest. Never know who's going to drop in. Could be, who knows? We won't go too far with that yet.
Are you lead
But I
singer
think
or
it's going to be
backup?
fun. Well, you're going to be the backup singer, right?
Yeah, but what are you?
Roadie.
Roadie.
Drum roadie,
Roadie.
for Ryan.
That's right.
Roadie.
That's right. I'm the gopher. Go here. Fetch that. We'll do
There you
that.
go.
So
Didn't Ryan say he was going to let you play one song?
yeah, they're going to let me play one song.
We need something for sound check.
That's right. Do that before they open the doors.
There you go.
That's probably a really good way to approach that. I can tell you.
That way we fulfilled our obligation to you.
Don't doubt your abilities, but
No, we're going to go
Okay.
unplug this set. We're okay. We're good.
Unplugged. Eric Clapton did it.
That's right.
Clapton did it. That's right. I'll unplug my drums.
And he
So
was
it'll be
God at one time, wasn't he? He was declared Eric Clapton is God. Don't you remember that? I'm
do
older
not
than all
remember
you
that.
guys, evidently.
good. You are. You were actually paying attention. That's the rest of us, not so much. So there you go. Well, all righty. We have flogged the beast again.
Just.
And Jane Anne, thank you so much for spending some time with us
Thank
today.
you for having me. This was fun. I always love being on your show, Tom.
This is great. Michelle, you are a pleasure as always.
oh, thank you.
And Jane Anne,
Yeah.
for the record, this is the best after show you've ever done. Really. Captain
Yeah, and there you go.
Alrighty then.
That's Jim humor for you. You'll get used to it. You'll never like it, but you'll get used to it.
Or hide.
It's never funny, but it's okay. It's
good.
So,
We play along.
what is they call that? Grenade humor. You pull the pin and wait for a few seconds, and maybe it'll get funny then.
Wait for it.
Unlikely.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Okay. All right. Pretty soon we're going to have the Michelle and Jane Anne hour.
Yay.
So we're working on that. All right?
Sweet.
There you go.
All
We may have a
ladies, all
plan
the
here.
time.
The way it
There you
should
go.
be. Oh, what?
I think I unplugged her mic right about now. There's right. I'll just reach over and.
If you reach over, trust me, now you're within reach of Michelle. You don't want to do that. She can hit you.
That's
think
a
I've
full
learned by now.
contact. Yeah.
That's right. Full contact radio right here. All right, guys, you have a good week.
Stay
Nice
safe.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
Thank you.
Tell your friends about the Gun Talk After Show, a more informal setting featuring Tom, Michelle, and Jim commenting on topics that are important to you. Available on iTunes and other podcatchers, and the Gun Dealio smartphone app for iPhone and Android.